Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Slovakia, Ukraine, Russia, some more. For those who are here for the first time, I would like to give you a history trip back just for a couple of seconds and to share where it all started. And the amazing truth is that it all started here in Sofia. 6 years ago, me and Aniela, little did we know that after, let's say, 60 to 65 months, we will be doing events all over Middle East, North Africa, Europe, and Asia. But it is an amazing journey, and again, we are absolutely happy that it started here from this city, and not only with this city, but with these people. I'm absolutely honored to say a big thank you to Ljubo, to Metodi, and to their great super team from Superhosting, who are with us for the past 6 years. And to make sure that we really feel at home, I'll continue this list with our partners from Unicredit Bank, with Tunio and Anton from P-Cloud, who were with us again 6 years ago. They were with another company, but they're here again, helping us, supporting this event this year. Not to mention that when I say home, I truly do feel at home with Kaloyan, Nevena, and their super, hugely, amazingly professional team of this great venue and Congress Technique and Special Events Group. Not to say that I'm not going to miss one person. So to continue, IBM, who support us globally and regionally, BTV, Melbegen, Netinfo, part of Nova, Molar Advertising, Metro Reklama, and so many more. Thanks to Google, who joined us this year also for Central Eastern European events. Well, that's for the official part. I want to share something personal with you. Let's say that 6 years ago, we were called the Ugly Duckling. And I don't know if you've heard this, but normally most people called us the Ugly Duckling, which is nice. It was nice for me because I felt like it's good to be different. It's good to make things in a way that at least other people don't. That's why they find you different. They call you names. So why was it like this? We were the first that decided that we can bring together entrepreneurs and industry in one room. And people called us crazy. They said, you must be crazy. Nobody cares in our industry, digital marketing generally, about those startups. And obviously the startups, they call us fat birds. So why should we be together? And it was 6 years ago, but let's remember, those 6 years ago, digital was perceived like a music genre. So, and when we started calling digital, people were thinking that we are a music event, which I don't mind, but we weren't, and we are not. So 6 years later, it turned that what we've done is something that now almost everybody around the world is doing, bringing the amazing potential of the entrepreneurs, of the startups, of the developers together with the industry. Well, obviously this is not our patent, but that's how we started it. And now nobody calls us crazy. Well, they do for different reasons, but at least not for that. And yes, there are other things that we do differently. Like, for example, we host 9 different totally separate events at the Global Webit Congress, and all of them are totally for different industry, like the digital entertainment and music industry and media, like digital commerce, apps world dev camps for application developers. But again, this crazy stuff helped us grow from 500 people event, or let's say a bit more, here in Sofia, to 10,000 people from 110 different countries. That's the amount of people, that's the amount of countries that visit every year, and this year particularly Webit in Istanbul. So, I have 2 requests for you. The first one is that I'm asking you to embrace the opportunities. I'm sure that somewhere around you, next to you, there stays a guy or a team that might truly disrupt industry that they're doing something in. So my only request for you today is, please embrace those opportunities. Please meet each other. Please know each other better, because that's all about, that's why you are here, not watching this event live. That's why you spend your one day of your precious life to be here, not only to hear these amazing keynotes that we are going to have on this stage, but really to embrace the opportunities. Guys, we're living in a world where the artificial intelligence chief of Google predicts that in 15 years, the robots will be more intelligent than people. We're living in a world where I, standing in front of you, I'm wearing a number of wearable stuff. Some journalists called me cyborg, which I don't find myself like this, though. I hope you don't perceive me like this. Because I'm measuring most of the stuff I'm doing daily, and I enjoy it. We're living in a world where big data is going to disrupt each and every part of our life, and you're going to hear this. You're going to hear also an amazing keynote, how the wearables are going to change the digital healthcare, the pharma industry, obviously every step of our, again, everyday living. This is the world that Webit is covering. This is the world that we care about. And yes, it is a crazy world, and that's why we need more and more crazy people. So that's the second thing I would like to really ask you. Please, stay crazy. It's crazy enough to be here, because, 6 years ago, everybody was crazy. Really, I mean, most of the people thought that they're going to a music event. And it was funny. In the room, people were just expecting when the rock star is going to sing or, do something. Well, obviously now, you're not that crazy. You don't think that I'm going to sing. Though, to open one more thing, don't miss tonight's party. Probably I'll be singing, and you will be singing too. Never miss a Webit party. That's granted. It's going to be in Poison Bar, piano bar behind Radisson's. So please be there. There is one more thing that you should not be missing, and this is how you also can embrace opportunities. We have another great partner here, Walltopia, and between the breaks, the networking breaks, it's just across the door. There is an amazing climbing wall where you can go and obviously climb or look at other people's climbing, jumping, folding, doesn't matter. So the bravest, the strongest, those that want to challenge themselves, not only listening to amazing keynotes, you can go, again, just cross door and climb. The fastest climber is going to be the one who is going to be winning a gold ticket to the Global Webit Congress. And one more gold ticket for the most retweeted tweet today. So at the end of the day, there will be awards, 2 gold tickets worth 1,200 euro for the Global Webit Congress in Istanbul on 1st and 2nd of October. Well, I guess I kind of done with what I wanted to share with you. Who is here in the room? Just, I hope that you've already been through the list of attendees on our website. We're the only event here in this part of the world that is proud of the people who are here in the room. So, proudly shared at webit.bg. You can scroll down quite a long list of people who already gave us the permission to share their presence here. But here you are. I said, truly amazing people. That's why I'm truly grateful for your time here. And we have top advertisers, starting from the biggest, ending up with small and medium, represented by their marketing directors, most of the cases, and CTOs. It's amazingly packed with great young people, entrepreneurs. We already partnered and we gave special presents to Start It Smart, to Beta House, to other representatives of the communities from Romania, from Macedonia, from Poland, from Czech Republic. We gave some special free tickets for these guys to be here and to make sure they don't miss a thing and they can meet with you guys, the guys from the industry, because this is another great difference between Webit and the rest of the events. If you go to a tech event, you only meet investors. That's it. Fine. But the investors' money, our money, are the most expensive money in the world. And those that I've invested in, they know it for sure. So why do you need investor if you can find your partner P&G or Unilever or a bank or a telecom and grow your dreams together. Webit, generally Webit as a global platform is probably one of the biggest in the world talent pools, where you can go and find not only great ideas, but great talents. And vice versa, for the industry, that's an amazing opportunity to stay with the time, and the time is so fast. So that's where we stand. We stand between those two worlds which we care about. And those two worlds will be here. In this room, we're going to be challenging this room, the red one. We're going to be challenging everything with digital, everything with big data, with programmatic, with social, digital commerce and payments. Everything will be happening here. And then in the blue room, we will be discussing investments, how you can be a successful entrepreneur and at the same time to be a successful person. That's a huge challenge. I was the one who put in our family special timing, 40 hours per month to spend with my children. Not to stay in the room with my children, but to spend with my children. Meaning that I'm talking to them, I'm having discussions, I'm having dialogues with them. 40 hours per month, and trust me, it's so hard to achieve. And this is part of being successful, at least for me, a successful person. So among the other topics are what are the opportunities for Central Eastern Europe to become a place for investments, a place where the ecosystem grows bigger and better, and how to use those local differences to launch a global startup. Also in this blue room there, we are going to have discussions on the landscape. We have some amazing investors from Intel Capital, from different places around the world, so they'll be sharing their perspectives towards this particular ecosystem here. So that's more or less. I'm about to finish here. Again, a big thank you for being with us. Thank you. And now I have the honor and the pleasure to invite here Ricardo, who is doing, actually his company name is Color Elephant. And I want to see how colorful he's going to be here. Please welcome on stage Mr. Sosa. Thank you so much for joining. Our first keynote, and I'm sure that you're going to rock the stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Have a good morning. Thanks for being here, and also thanks to the team for putting it together. I've organized a conference for some years, and I know the challenges and the work that is involved in putting up an event such as this. And so I'm here today to open up the morning while you are all still falling asleep with a very boring theme for some of you, which is customer service and customer satisfaction. But I'm here to talk about that because throughout the years, and as we've been working with more and more clients, we realized that customer service and the way you treat customers and the experience you provide to them is really key to the success of your business, be it totally digital or a mixture between digital and physical, as most businesses are right now. And so the first question that we ask ourselves is, how do you sell anything? And I mean really anything, from smartphones to a grocery store that sells all those kinds of traditional products. And you can sell either by the price, right? So that's a very common technique, and one that, for instance, in the telecom industry, it's the main one, so to say. So you put the price down, and your competition puts the price down, and you are in some sort of price war. But the problem with playing only by the price is that everyone is doing it, right? And as you lower the price, you're also tendentially lowering the quality, because if you're having lower margins, you cannot do as much of a good job as you did before. So the second part is, of course, quality. And quality is something we're all very proud of. So basically, what I want to say with this is that we sort of all have quality, or we try to have quality, and quality is no longer the differentiator factor between one business or the other except for very specific cases. So I think that the last thing where you can differentiate yourself among competition is through service, and that's what we've been working on for the past couple of years in trying to understand how you can improve that service. And for us, we come to the conclusion that customer service, caring about your customer and providing the customer with a good experience is all about a very narrow couple of things, right? Customer service is about caring, is about making different from your competition, is about responding when your competition is not, is about being human, and that's a very important thing, and it's about an experience. And that experience is probably one of the most important things, because we usually tend to think of customer service as the service we send in the end, or as the phone support we have for our business. But actually, the customer experience, the customer feeling about your company starts way early when they are deciding if they are gonna buy you a product or not. And so a recent stat shows that 39% of people will avoid you for 2 or more years after having a bad experience with you, right? But what I'm saying is not price and quality doesn't matter. Of course, price and quality matters, and of course, price and quality are driving factors for the way in which you can differentiate yourself in the market. All I'm saying is that customers and the way you treat them are, of course, very important. But you all know that, and you will tell me, yeah, Ricardo, but no worries, customers, they come and they go. And let me stop you right there, because the problem is customers, sometimes they go and they might not come back. And that is the cost that most businesses are not paying very close attention to. So most of the KPIs in the companies we've been working with, and we've been working with small and large companies, are customer acquisition. How much does it cost us to get a new customer? And then we start to really make them talk a lot more and think a lot more about the customer retention part, which for us is more important. So after you get a customer, how much does it cost for you to keep that customer paying? And for instance, for subscription-based businesses, this is, of course, critical. So what can I do? I mean, what can I do to improve my customer experience and to make customers love me back? And let me start by being very honest and saying that with the companies we've been working with, we've seen that this is really hard. And when I mean hard, I mean really, really hard, because every business is different and every business has very specific things that set it apart from the other business. And you have to understand your business very well and your customer very well to do a good job at it. And actually, technology is doing it harder, because now we all have mobile phones in the pocket, right? I'm on a stage and I have a mobile phone in my pocket. And the fact that I have a mobile phone here or a computer back at the hotel means that I can instantly share information. I can instantly compare your business with your competition and see which one I want to choose, something that was, of course, not available a few years ago. So we're entering this age of Insta service. It's automatic. You have all those things coming up, and they are that you always have to be on. That's the customer's demanding for it. You always have to be right. You cannot do one of those Facebook silly mistakes where you don't reply correctly and have all those PR nightmares that we've been seeing, and you have to be fast in replying. And I would add another one, which is you always have to be human. And that's difficult because you're interacting with a machine, and your customer is interacting with a machine. But actually, the expectation about the relationship is that you both are human, and you should treat yourselves like that. And if you are still wondering if what I'm saying is just not a couple of basic things and things you already know, actually, you should think about the next generation that is coming. And that next generation, they are on mobile phones, they are on computers, and they are much more likely less to give you a call if you have a problem in your business than they were a few years back. So the first thing is really to understand the new ways for consumers to interact with brands and the new expectations and the new models. And when you do so, you start to understand that my feedback right now, it goes to potential customers of yours, it goes to review sites, it goes to the friends of mine, and also to my friends of my friends. And usually, if you are not receiving enough information, if you're not listening enough, it will not come to you. So I was told it is not usually a good idea to call the people I'm talking to stupid, but I'm going to try it anyway. And so my very first advice is keep it simple, stop it. And of course, that's something that we've been using in software for quite some time with the whole lean methodology and stuff. But it is also applicable to customer service and the quality of your service with the customer. Because the first thing you have to do is one very basic thing that businesses are not used to do, and I speak for myself, which is listen. We're used to talk, and we expect that by talking more, we get more customers and more revenue. But actually, it is quite the other way around. So if we stop talking and we start listening to what is the feedback from the users and what is the feedback from our clients and the ones that didn't came to be because of something, we are learning much more. So you need to be on the right platforms. If you are a hotel, you need to be on TripAdvisor, you need to be on Facebook, because those are the main platforms where the interactions with your clients are happening. You need to provide easy access to support. So imagine I have a problem now with my carrier, and I'm trying to go to their website and finding the contact in which I can try and solve that problem. If I spend 10 minutes in the web page trying to find where the hell is the contact link or where the hell is the contact number, I can guarantee you that when I get to speak with your operator on the phone, I will be much more angry at you and at your customer service. And then inside Facebook, acknowledge and prepare for getting feedback. There's this idea that business should be afraid because on Facebook they can say bad things about us. And that's true. But the fact is that it has always been like that. If you have a store, people can go there, they can have an experience, and they can complain. The difference here is that other people will see that. But if you are prepared for the fact that they might go there, then you're much more likely to be able to control that situation. And then always say yes, even if it is a yes, we will try. And then listen, but also ask, but also act. So, and the next thing is, ask for the right feedback. We've been working a lot with hotels, and what we see is you have a very general survey that goes out at the end, right? And sometimes it asks, hey, how was your experience at the bar? And actually, the customer has never been to the bar, but because you have a CRM or because you have a PMS system in your business, you know that the customer has not been there, so you should tailor what you ask them to what you want to learn and what you want to hear back. Because what you will be surprised about is the amount of things that you can actually learn if you ask the right questions and provide users with the right context for that question. And then there's this saying, which is customer service starts with a question. That is bullshit, right? Customer service doesn't start with a question. Customer service starts with a customer or a potential customer. So you shouldn't expect the customer to ask a question to start doing customer service. As the moment you have a potential customer in front of you or a customer already, that's where the customer service starts. And so you need to be proactive. And when I say proactive, people always say the same thing. You want us to predict what users are going to do, so you want us to use a crystal ball. And that's not the case. What I meant by predicting what the user wants is using the next available tech resources to do so. And it's changing your mentality from what do I do now? Now that the customer is complaining, what do I do? To what can I do next to prevent that the customer is actually complaining? And so that is mapping and looking out for past habits of the client. It is profiling clients with their online self, and there are a variety of tools that provide you with that so you know more about your customer. When you are interacting with your customer, be it online or in the physical space, as much questions as you can, because that gives you a context and that gives you more information about your client. Know the basics of who you are serving. You need to know which are the people that you are providing a service or a product to. And then you need to reply and engage with customers, even on social networks that you're not present on. So let's say your business decided not to go on Facebook. You should anyway monitor Facebook and see what is being said about your company. And here's a good example of a hotel manager will reply to a customer, and here's a bad one because basically the reply is, we don't give a fuck about you, which should never be the reply. But don't wait for them to complain. As I was saying, and I don't want to go back to that, it's not a crystal ball, it's just using as much data as you can, and now we have more and more data to predict the user behavior. And then it's preparing for mobile first. And I don't like to use mobile first because it is actually mobile. You don't need to prepare to it first or second. You just need to prepare for it. And And when you do so, this means that the whole customer experience, from buying the product to actually being served after, it needs to be tailored to an experience on mobile, as, of course, most of the people are using right now. The second thing is, of course, be quick, be present, be there. And usually, when people talk about social media, they say, hey, just be on Facebook all the time you can. I'm not a big advocate of that. I think you should clearly state when you are on Facebook, make it very clear for the fans, so you're there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and make sure that people know that, so that their expectations are aligned with the service that you can or cannot provide. And then whatever you can, please automate. So data extraction, surveys, profiling, prediction, triggered email communication, all of that can be automated, but please keep in mind that you need to have a human oversight on it to make sure the communication is authentic and is human. But so in general, it makes sense. You need to try to respond with this technical evolution with technical stuff that will make sure that your workload is still balanced. And so the hard thing about customer service is that it is a mixture between all of that. So you need to have a product and a purchase process that actually works. And then you have to make this full circle between matching traditional channels with new channels, matching every interaction of your client with every piece of data that you have. And then when you bring those all together, you have a better picture of who your customer is and how you can satisfy him. And the difficulty here is that you have to be consistent and you have to be complete. Otherwise, the customer experience will fall in one of these points here. So either it fails on the traditional channel or it fails in the new channel. And so manage the efforts. Make sure you're providing, even if you cannot provide a 5-star service, it's better to provide a 4-star service across the board in all your interactions with the customer than a 5-star in one end and then a 2-star in the other. And then have the right CRM. We have always this discussion because we enter a company and we ask, hey, what is your CRM? And they come to us and they say, hey, here's it, and here's how we are using it. And always people use CRMs for sales only. So when you think CRM, you're thinking sales. And actually, the damn freaking word there is not sales, it's relationship, right? A CRM should be built to manage your relationship with your client, not the sales. The sales is a byproduct of that relationship. And so this looks like a 4-year-old drawing, but it's actually your client is in the center of everything. You have service, you have the CRM. The CRM and the service should be very well connected to make sure the services are provided with context. When you get the survey details, you go back to the CRM and you send information. The CRM should be connected to your mailing tool to make sure the mails have context. And we always advise that to our clients, and I'm running out of time, but I will keep going. We always advise that to our clients, link your CRM to social networks. And they always go freaky on that because they don't want their customers, which are potentially having bad feedback here, to send it to social networks. But the advantage is that you can actually create a link with that because then you know what the review is, what is the survey, which has more information, and then what is the client, what are the habits of the clients, and everything else. But I'm finishing off. Online or offline, it is the small things that matter. So you all have heard these beautiful stories where businesses make the front pages because of very good deeds that they do. We have here a few examples. But the thing is, take the small opportunities. Whenever you see a small opportunity to really please the guests and provide a great experience, please do it because that's where it is going to set you apart from the others. And so define your consumer satisfaction strategy. And when you do so, you need to realize that it starts with you, the leader, be it the team leader or the company leader, but actually it is not only about you, it is about everyone involved in your organization, and that is what makes it so hard. You need to train your people. And now I'm going to be repetitive in this point because I think it is so important. You need to learn and train, learn and train, learn and train. That's all you have to do. You have to learn from your mistakes, you have to learn from what the customers are saying, and you have to train yourself. You have to adapt, and you have to adjust what you're doing with what the customer is saying and what the customer is experiencing. And so if you match this data and this analytics with what you feel is right, because that's also very important, you have the recipe for customer happiness and eventually better results. And now I saved the best for last. It is the super secret for customer satisfaction, okay? This is what we've been telling businesses we work with for quite some time now, and it works. It is one of those things that shows results immediately, and that is being human, okay? One of the problems we face every time is that businesses are wired around numbers and around goals, and they don't treat people like they like to be treated. And so, if you treat your customers the way you like to be treated, if you treat your customers as persons, as friends, if you treat them in that way, and you can build up an organization that actually does that across the board, from the VP to actually the guy who cleans the bathroom, you can create a human experience around your customer that will please him and make him very, very happy. Thank you very much, guys, and enjoy Webit.
I've truly enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There will be a small question Q&A session after the opening keynotes. So please get ready your questions. You might also ask them there. I hope you won't mind to be here and to answer them, right?
No.
And one more special request to all our speakers. I've started with this to explore opportunities, to embrace opportunities. Please, if possible, after your speeches on this stage and the other stage, there is a bar outside. Could you please go out and give some coffee and drinks to the guys and talk to them, because probably they're going to have a lot of questions for you. So if you are so kind, all the speakers, all the amazing 53 or 4, 5 speakers, guys, I truly do appreciate that you're here, and I would even appreciate more if you meet with all these 1,000 and something people here in this room. Thank you very much in advance. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
very much.
So you get your questions ready, get your business cards ready if you want to meet these guys. So that's how it's done. And they already promised, at least a representative of the speakers promised to me, so hopefully it's going to happen. The next speaker, I have a story to tell. I know Gökhan for a long time, and it's been a while. He was supposed to be one of these supporting us from almost year number 1, I believe. Back then, Gökhan was working for another huge brand, but obviously he was not available because of the brand to be here. So after years of good friendship, staying in touch, I finally have the pleasure to invite here on the stage of Webit Central Eastern Europe a person who is managing a region that you want to hear. Emerging Europe, Russia, India, and Turkey, for one of the giants in the pharmaceutical industry, Pfizer. Gökhan Samakoglu, please join us on the stage. Welcome. I hope you had a good flight from Istanbul. Thanks for joining. Thank you. So, rock the stage, please.
Good morning. Dobro utro. I hope my pronunciation is okay. So it's a pleasure to be here. First of all, thanks for the invitation. It's my second time in Bulgaria. It's our neighbor country, so I really enjoy to be here. And I wish I could come more often, even for my vacations to Bansko, to the seaside, so really counting for that. So in the course of next 15 minutes, I would like to talk to you about the digital transformation that is happening in the health industry and that is also happening in the pharma industry. So now you might not be very familiar of the pharma industry. If I may see the hands for those people who are working in the health industry or pharma, are there many people? 1, 2, 3. Not many, as expected. So this was one of the challenges that I had when I was joining to Pfizer after Procter & Gamble 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, because I said, what the heck I'm going to do in this company? And then I was really convinced that there is a big health transformation with digital technologies that is happening in the market, and I wanted to be one of the pioneers who's helping to shape the company with Pfizer. So today, I'll be talking a little bit about what we are doing today, but also how the technology is disrupting in the healthcare industry for the future. So what would be the personal, in my personal opinion, the vision of the health industry, okay? So as I mentioned, you may not be hearing too much about what healthcare guys are doing, especially about the innovation, about the technology, right? However, if you look at the data, it says that the majority of the R&D money is spent not by Apple, not by Google, not by Facebook, without any offense for those of my friends who work in those companies, but rather spent by mainly pharma companies, spent by automotive industry, spent by the hardware industry, right? However, you may not notice what is the entire innovation happening there because either it's B2B or it's not really reflect to the consumers. Now, the challenge that I'm putting on the table is how we can shift these budgets that are spent, like billions of budgets that are spent today to pharma innovation drug pipeline to the digital medicine. And I'll tell a little bit more in a while. Now, if you might hear from also your friends who are working in the health industry, there are really big moves in the climate. So big changes are coming in terms of the patient needs, our doctors' needs, the treatment types, the drug portfolios, the government pressures on the pricing. So therefore, huge transformation, which is resulting into many different reactions that are kind of supported also by new business models, new technology ways of connecting with our customers. And with that, I believe that a strong wave is coming for us. And this strong wave is going to really disrupt the entire industry. Now, looking back, if you would recall what has happened to the photography industry, not long time ago, Kodak really got bankrupted, right? One of the giants of the photography industry got bankrupted with the digital technology, right? And look at what is happening right now. I think with WhatsApp, with Skype type of technologies, GSM operators are shaking with what is going to happen to next to them, right? And I think right now, the healthcare industry also is thinking what is next for them, because with the amount of the disruptive technologies in our domain, I believe that we need to really find ways to surf on this wave. Otherwise, we'll be just down in the water like Kodak. Now, what we are doing today is our main job is basically being able to better promote our medicines, our portfolio to the doctors. So far, multi-channel marketing in my world has been more about talking with the doctors through the sales reps before. And now we are doing it in a multi-channel environment as the customers are changing, because our doctors, our pharmacists, our patients are really engaged with other channels. They are consuming information from many other angles. So therefore, we are designing and implementing multi-channel marketing solutions. So having said that, we are also transforming the way we are connecting with our customers the way that they want. There is a very nice quotation that I like that is coming from Amazon, which is, in my personal opinion, one of the best customer-centric companies. So Jeff Bezos is saying that if you are competitor-focused, all what you're doing is track what is the market, right? However, if you're customer-centric, you have a chance to be able to pioneer and lead the market and get perhaps a bigger share of the market. So with this, what we are also doing is we are trying to understand what the future trends are so that we are better adopting the future customer-centric model. There is a very nice business model graph that is by Ernst & Young, which is showing the future of pharma, future of healthcare industry. People are not, and I'm not going to go through many details of this, but in essence, what it is saying is, it's not about selling more drugs for pharma companies, it's not about seeing more patients for the doctors, but it's about health outcomes, because patients care more about what is the outcome of my treatment, right? You don't care about how many pills you're taking per day, how many doctors or even the best doctor you're seeing, but what you're caring most is you or your family member, if there is a sickness, you're caring about whether you are recovering or not. So, and this is also, guess what? This is what is also concerning more even the payer. By payer, I mean either the government or your insurance company. They also care more about the healthy outcomes because of the cost to them, because of the labor force that the government would have in the market, right? So therefore, in the future, with the Pharma 3.0 concept, with the disruptive technologies, with the consumerism, patients getting stronger and more knowledgeable about their health, in the future, our ultimate customer is more and more becoming the patients and becoming the payers. So now within this, I'm sure you all know about the trends about wearable technologies, counted self or logged self, right? So basically, what it's all about is being able to track some of your daily health measures, starting about your exercise, your sleep habits, your diet. You can pretty much count many of these measures as it wasn't really available before in the past. Right now, I'm sure perhaps the products that are shown here are perhaps a long tail of it. Like I'm sure many of the other companies are also beginning to prepare. But what it all tells you is you can get your personal big data with this type of devices. And for healthcare industry, let me tell you a few very severe facts. Within entire Europe, there has been around 4.1 million people dying because of the cardiovascular diseases. This is like of the 40% of the entire deaths of the entire Europe, right? And cardiovascular diseases can be prevented almost by 80% via just managing your health carefully. This is very touching to me as well, because my dad has died 6 years ago because of a severe heart attack, and right now I'm really touched by this technology. And why not we did not have opportunity to count and track his health, his heart rhythm, his blood pressure, maybe his exercises on a daily basis, so then we could perhaps prevent many of those, right? So this is, in my opinion, in the healthcare industry, going to be one of the next big things that is going to disrupt many of the standard treatment mechanisms, because people are going to be tracking their health much more often. They will be aware of what is happening to their blood pressure, to their heart figures, and so on. So therefore, we will be able to manage it much better. I think this is like even the basic of what is going to happen in the future. But many other companies who are interested in this domain are doing very interesting prototypes. Let me give you some examples of that. So this is a smart sleeper prototype that has been done by AT&T. This was introduced in one of the last year's GSMA, which basically has a sensor which tracks your location, exact location in the house, which also tracks your weight, right? So think about this opportunity of having an old person who's a dependent. However, you have to leave, let's say, your grandfather at home alone, but he's sick and you want to really carefully manage his health. So what this tells you is in which room he's staying. So if he fall asleep in the couch, you can send him an alert. You can call him. Or if he's not really able to maybe eat his food on time, or maybe perhaps go to toilet, you could even measure his weight, and it sends some alerts to his doctor, to his family, and so on. So you can really take some precautions. Just some examples. Right now, soon we will see with some nanotechnology, we will see some clothes that has some nanosensors, which is able to track our health measures. So you don't need to wear these things, right? Those fancy things, which might be burden of you, but it will be in your clothes. I even saw some prototypes that are even like tattoos that you can really just patch on your skin, and then it basically helps you manage your diabetes, your blood sugar, so that it keeps you alerted, or even your doctor alerted. For the babies, the diapers, right? So for the diapers, if you put this, many parents are really engaged about their temperature, their hot toilet habits, and many of the other things that could be easily managed through some sensors for the babies who cannot talk, apparently, but these sensors can talk on behalf of your baby. Some smartphones that are enabling your diet in a better shape because they can track your mood based on some of the figures that gets from your body. So that can help you to suggest some foods based on your mood and your body figures. It's getting more scary. Your dentist can put a sensor in your teeth, which is tracking your eating habits, right? So then before going to your dentist, you would maybe perhaps getting some alerts about like, hey, you're eating too much sugar and so on. Many more examples. I'm not going to count in this more, but But all in all, I think with the amount of the changes that are upcoming is tremendously huge. So the entire telemedicine or digital medicine industry has been doing around $250 million revenue by these big companies that are in this industry with the hardware companies, and it's expected to be around 4 to 5 billion industry by 2018, which is just showing you the amount of the rise, amount of the increase in this business area is totally this is going to be totally disruptive. And in my personal opinion, we as the pharma companies or we as the healthcare companies, if we don't adopt this change, we will soon not be really surfing on the water. Now, with all that said, you may ask that, I mean, it's not really available today. We just see some of those fancy devices, but all I would say back to you is today just ends for 24 hours. Thank you so much.
To be honest, I will try not to sweat around you, you know. You will know everything about me. Thanks so much for this amazing presentation. We're somewhere in the future here, but actually the future is now, right? Exactly. I'm having my t-shirt measuring all my psycho-physical activities. If I'm stressed, if I need to go somewhere, I have my heartbeat, or if I'm overloaded in the fitness, I have my alert. So all this is happening only with one shirt called Om shirt, but you've showed so many other examples. I was joking with my wife who gave me a soon to watch, and all my friends said, now she knows everything about you. Where are you? What do you do? Are you going climbing or skiing or stuff like this? But it's amazing. And it's a brand new world, so it's all about, not about personal information, but it's about our lives now.
Exactly.
So I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions on where are we heading after the next keynote. So please stick with us.
Thank you so much.
Gökhan. Thank you for coming. Çok teşekkürler.
Ben teşekkür ederim.
Well. Did I say that you are the most important people in this room? Did I say it? I didn't? You are. You are, and that's all about you. That's what we are doing. We're not doing it for our sponsors. We're not doing it for our speakers. We're doing it for you. Because if you are not here, nobody's going to be here. So when we were doing this, when we were creating the agenda, when we were inviting these amazing people here on stage, we were thinking of you. We wanted to know what you want to know. Well, obviously, for 6 years in a row, creating Webit, and 20 years in the industry, I kind of, you know, and our team predicts some of the things, but we would love to hear from you if you want to change something, if you want to do something. I've heard on Twitter that you don't have seats over there. Unfortunately, it's really packed, and some of you who were on the waiting list were already kindly advised. We gave 10 people access from the waiting list of those 300 people. You were advised that there might be issues with the chairs, but I assure you we're going to take care of this. So everybody's going to have a seating here, I promise you. If not, I will find a chair for you personally. So, you know, I'm easy to be found here. Well, the next speaker is giving the start of the Google Hour. I've started with this. We truly do believe that you need to know, that you are the ones that really need to get into the details of what is going on here. So, couple of news. First, we're absolutely proud, fascinated, and grateful to have the launch of YouTube here in Bulgaria, here on that stage. Well, obviously not all the entire CEE, but it's great to have it here, and I'm absolutely happy and delighted to invite Robbie here on the stage. He's the head of brand products, CEE at Google. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your support.
Great to meet you. Thank you very much.
Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. My name's Robbie, and I look after all our brand product solutions. So YouTube, Google+, I think a lot about display and some really compelling stuff that we do with really fascinating creative formats for Southeastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So an amazingly wide region, and I get to experience a lot of different cultures and places. And my title of my presentation today is Building Brands in a Digital World. And I want you guys to think about storytelling. And my story started when I landed yesterday off the plane. I'm from London, but I live in Paris. I landed in yesterday here into Sofia Airport. How many Bulgarians are there in the room here? Got loads, great. So I was impactly thrown into the world of Bulgarian culture and music. I got into the car and I was totally overwhelmed by the song that was playing in the taxi. It was Dr. Alban. He's not Bulgarian. He's from Nigeria. He has Swedish origins. He's had 2.5 million views of his video on YouTube. But then I went a little bit further. I thought, you know what? They must be interested in something, our friends in Bulgaria. So I'm told Aziz is a popular dude, right? And his video called Mirazic, if I pronounced it correctly, has had no shorter than 14 million views on YouTube. Aziz. He doesn't wear very much. He seems to have very few clothing on, and maybe that's the appeal. And then I explored further. My colleagues told me about Planeta. I'm told that after a few drinks, the local drink, I forgot the name of it, I drank it last night, it was very nice. I'm told you guys all tune in to Planeta. There are no clothes on that channel. What is it with you guys? I'm coming back to that later. So this is the art of storytelling, okay? I've just kept you entertained for 35 seconds about my journey in on the taxi. Let me show you what that means if we think about the world of Google and how bringing products together will enable you to tell a really interesting branding story.
ये मैं ये यूसुफ लंगोटिया यार सी मेरा लाहौर में हमारे घर के सामने एक बड़ा बाग था उस बाग का गेट बाबा आदम के जमाने रोज शाम को हमने वहाँ पतंगे उड़ानी और उसके बाद जाके यूसुफ के दुकान से झझरिया चुरा के खानी
झझरिया
मेरा साहब नमस्ते नमस्ते मेरी पोती मुंबई वाली और बेटे क्या हाल है
बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूदे फांदे छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी गांठ लेके बांधे
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम
फाजिल स्वीट्स
हाँ जी दादाजान दिल्ली से किसी की कॉल है
हेलो
यूसुफ अंकल
कौन
जी मैं सुमन बोल रही हूँ दिल्ली से आपके बचपन के दोस्त बलदेव जी की पोती याद है बचपन में आप दोनों झझरिया चुरा के खाते थे
बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूदे फांदे छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी गांठ लेके बांधे एक पतंग सा उड़ता था परिंदों की तरह परिंदों की तरह परिंदों की तरह एक दौर था मन मन मोर था एक दौर था मन मन मोर था
पार्टीशन के वक्त हम रातों रात हिंदुस्तान आ गए
दादू
यूसुफ दी बड़ी याद आती है
कागजों की कश्तियों में डूबा रहता था झांकती खिड़कियों में उलझा रहता था वो भी क्या दौर था मन पे न जोर था एक दौर था मन मन मोर था एक दौर था मन मन मोर था
भैया थोड़ा जल्दी
मन मोर
हाँ जी कौन हैप्पी बर्थडे यारा यूसुफ वो यूसुफ मेरे बल्लू
So certainly a few tears in the front row. We can hand out the Kleenex later on, but a real tearjerker, but a great story. And think about how Google put all their products into that one story. The notion of using maps, of using search, of using YouTube, of using flight search. Everything was placed into that story to connect two people together to build a brand in a digital world. So it's about providing relative, contextual, compelling content. It's not just about advertising. But as it was said earlier along, we just launched YouTube here in Bulgaria, and we're incredibly excited about that. And so you guys have seen this TrueView ad. You only pay when the viewer watches the video. If the viewer or the consumer skips that video, you won't pay. But I want to see today how many of you guys will skip a video. How many of you guys, there's 3 in the back, but you haven't seen it yet, my friends. You haven't seen the video I'm going to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to do a skip ad test, okay? When you feel like you want to skip this ad, you will raise your hands. If you don't want to skip, don't raise your hand. Let's see what Giselle did very recently. Raise your hand when you're ready to skip. If you don't want to skip, don't raise it. So she's on stage. She's taking her jacket off. I've got no skippers. I've got a... He's married. I've got a married man. I've got a skipper. Okay, that's good. I've still got 1,000 non-skippers. Got 2 in the back. Keep your hands raised. Not bad. Oral-B is still paying. They've paid. But you're still not skipping. No one's skipping. Is it because you like Planeta? I think it's because you like Planeta. This is the kind of relationship thing. I'm getting a theme here. We're nearly there. Okay, we'll move off. We'll go off of this. I think you get the message, right? It's incredibly compelling content. We can move forward. So that was Giselle. She didn't manage to take it all off. You didn't see it all removed, but you saw how you were in control. The user is in control all the time. There was about 12 of you guys that wanted to skip. Everyone else wanted to watch. The user expects brands to entertain all the time, constantly. We are the most egotistical. We are the people who want this content all the time whenever we want it. We want it to inform us, entertain us, and provide utility. I don't want to be watching for information and then not get what's given on the box, what's delivered on the box. I want it where I want it, when I want it, and how I want it. And you guys have talked about that this morning already. It's no use providing me content on a mobile device that is not rendered for a mobile device. I spent years working in mobile and scratching my head about how businesses couldn't build on mobile. And our friend earlier on said, just build on mobile. You got to build around mobile. Mobile is the most important platform for you guys in this room for the next 5 years. It's really, really important. Mobile first, we've talked about it all the time. The ones who get it are the ones who will deliver and will win, right? When you're building content, when the brands in this room, the agencies in this room build content, think about why you're doing it. Are you going to be proud of that content? Would you show it to your grandfather, to your grandmother, to your mom, your dad? If you were building a video with Planeta, would you show that to your sisters and brothers? Think about that when you're building that content. So these brands are creating stories and curating them, and they're orchestrating them. So think about those 3 points when you're going out there building your digital strategy. Curating, and orchestration. I want to take you through how we're redefining storytelling, and I want to show you something that Dove did very recently, which absolutely showcases the power of storytelling. If we can roll that Dove video, that would be great. I think I have to click. Yeah.
I'm a forensic artist. Worked for the San Jose Police Department from 1995 to 2011.
I showed up to a place I'd never been, and there was a guy with a drafting board.
We couldn't see them, they couldn't see us.
Tell me about your hair.
I didn't know what he was doing, but then I could tell after several questions that he was drawing me.
Tell me about your chin.
It kind of protrudes a little bit, especially when I smile.
Your jaw.
My mom told me I had a big jaw.
What would be your most prominent feature?
Kind of have a fat, rounder face.
The older I've gotten, the more freckles I've gotten.
I would say I have a pretty big forehead.
Once I get a sketch, I say thank you very much, and then they leave. I don't see them.
All I had been told before the sketch was to get friendly with this other woman, Chloe.
Today I'm going to ask you some questions about a person you met earlier, and I'm going to ask you some general questions about their face.
She was thin, so you could see her cheekbones. And her chin, it was a nice, thin chin.
She had nice eyes. They lit up when she spoke.
Cute nose.
She had blue eyes, very nice blue eyes.
So here we are. This is the sketch that you helped me create, and that's a sketch that somebody described of you.
So yeah, that's...
She looks closed off and fatter. Sadder, too. The second one looks more open, friendly, and happy.
I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we apply for, how we treat our children.
So I'm going to stop that video there because I've got a lot of other stuff I want to show you, and I don't want to be short on time. But you can see how Dove reinvented itself around this notion of telling women that they were beautiful. Dove Sketches has been watched 85 million times on YouTube. A hugely viral video that's incredibly impactful and repositions Dove as not just a brand that you would pick up in the local pharmacy or in the supermarket for soap, but repositions itself as something that really makes you feel good about yourself. And I think that's hugely compelling from a curation of a story. There's no one better than Red Bull about creating stories. It wouldn't be a YouTube presentation if I didn't talk about how Felix threw himself out of a plane, and that video has been watched 100 million times on YouTube. But when he did that, Red Bull reinvented themselves as a content creator. These guys have won an Emmy. The agencies in this room would be delighted to win an Emmy. Millions of video views. But they now own action sports. So you guys in the room here today is your chance to own a category by positioning your brand and by creating content in that specific way. A Volvo truck. How many of you guys have seen this video? Okay, I'm not going to show it then because I'm short on time. But a Volvo truck, it's not sexy. It's not compelling. Jean-Claude Van Damme goes up, splits his legs, and says to himself, I'm going to show how the dynamic motion sensors or the dynamic motion movement of our two Volvo trucks can run side by side. Not sexy, but a stunt. A stunt nonetheless that showcases how incredible a story can be told and how people can buy into a brand. Volvo Trucks videos have been viewed 70 million times. They spent about $3 to $4 million building all of this, but in the offside of that, they've generated loads and loads of sales. We're not going to watch him. Snackable. You guys produce multiple pieces of content all the time. Right? You're building content as brands, but you don't always use it. And think about that 15 seconds of footage that you maybe didn't use, or think about snackable, digestible pieces of content that you can showcase to your audience. Look at this one.
Hey, Helen, your account has been hacked. Somebody guess your password.
Well, how did they know? I picked something so random.
Was it dolphin?
I gotta take this.
Hello?
Hi, Gary. No, I'm not having a good day.
So insurance, not particularly sexy again, a bit like Volvo trucks. But change it, do your data, do your research. They looked on Google, they found out what people were looking at from an insights perspective. They were worried about their passwords being hacked. And off the back of that, they created snackable content. And then you're curating stories. You're creating a journey, an inspiration, and something that provides authenticity. And I want to take you on a tour of the world of Burberry kisses. I've actually done a demo before where I've got someone on the stage to kiss my phone and then send a kiss to someone else. You'll see what I mean in a second. If we can roll the Burberry kisses video. If we don't have it, Ali will explain what it is. We do have it.
You, oh you mean everything to me, baby, and I hope I mean everything to you. And we're at the stage where to be apart, it hurts and like the old movies. When I see you, you kiss my cheek. I said this is great, and I hope that we can make it last like evergreen love should.
Great, another round of applause for a Google video. I love it. You're a great audience. You're a great crowd. I'll come back whenever you want. The brilliant thing here is this notion of using technology, interaction, the notion of actually interacting with that particular handset, I think is hugely compelling. And so Burberry Kisses tells a beautiful story there as well. Let me just move forward one more slide, and I'm going to finish off with something quite interesting around the notion of orchestration. And so you guys have got to bring this all together. And the guys later on today are going to talk you through how you might do that as a business, give you a little bit more in-depth on the value of YouTube to you. We're going to talk about performance as well. But I think I want to show you about how you think of your brand as liquid content, how you bring it all together as one. And for me, there's no better example than the work we did recently with Topshop. And it's a smorgasbord of beautiful Google products coming together to showcase a brand really, really interacting amazingly in the digital area. And I'm going to leave you with this particular, the future of a fashion show. Let's roll the Topshop one. Go back.
Line the room. You find a drink and drain the glass as fast as you can think to. The cheap perfume. No one's moving, they just rather stand and wait until someone starts to move. Someone starts to move. Shake, shake, shake. It's all what you make of it. Take what you will. Now, now, now. The only mistake is if you stand still. So shake, shake, shake. It's all what you make of it. Break it until you know, now, now. The only mistake is if you stand still. It's only up to you. It's only up to you. Forget yourself. This room is hot, but we can make it hotter with your help. I'll dance with you. We'll dance together until everybody's moving to it. Everybody moves. When everybody moves. Shake, shake, shake. It's all what you make of it. Take what you will. No, no, no. The only mistake is if you stand still. So shake, shake, shake. It's all what you make of it. Break it until you know, no, no. The only mistake is to you. It's only up to you.
My name is Robbie, and that was Building Brands in a Digital World. Thank you very much.
My name is Plamen, and I thank you so much for being here.
much.
Robbie, would you mind to have a seat here just for a short Q&A? Gökhan and Ricardo, please join us on stage. Guys, we're totally out of time, as you know, because of, it turned that we need bigger doors for everybody to welcome. By the way, here it's full of seats. I mean, don't be shy, for God's sake. We have at least 20 people can join us here in front. But anyway, since we're totally ran out of time, I have a request for you. I can't leave you without asking a question. So please get ready your questions. One question per speaker. And please raise your hand, the one that you want to start first. Okay, the lady here was first. Could you please give the lady a mic? Yeah, okay, this one. And somebody from my team, please. Yanita? Who's coming? All right, thanks.
My name is Tanya, consulting firm TAB. You show amazing things.
Who's your question for? Just sorry for interrupting.
For
everybody. Everybody showed amazing things. I agree.
For all of them, but okay. We'll see who is left without a question then. So, you, as I said, you show amazing things, but I'm interested very much in the conditions which should be in the companies in order the people in those companies are able to create these amazing things. And this is something which is not spoken very much. I mean, we know about the fantastic work climate and atmosphere in Google, but somehow I think you need to stress on that and explain to companies that unless they manage their people in a new way, they cannot compete in the new world. And everybody should know that there should be new management. So
thank you very much. Thank you for this question. Who's going to take it? The new management of the company. You're not company managers. You're doing what you're doing. Actually, you can go for it.
Well, I can only speak for my company when we're quite small, so maybe that's not a great example for a big agency, but I do understand what you're saying in terms of creating a culture that actually can deliver creative and efficient results. The challenge is that when you have, and we've been working with a lot of bigger companies, when you have bigger companies, changing that culture requires an effort and the resources in terms of money that the companies sometimes either don't have or don't want to spend. So I still think that bigger companies with an older structure or an older management style can have this sort of innovations or this sort of more creative thinking if they open up to it. And opening up to it means that not all the companies need to be like Google and have all those crazy things at the office, but they certainly need to have at least a creative department or a creative set of people that have the function inside the company to come up with those ideas and be open to receive those ideas. Because what happens usually in big companies is that they usually talk with the same agencies over and over again, and so they're hearing the same ideas over and over again. And so they need to be open up to hear from other people and look out at creative solutions like they just show us. Yeah.
Oh, it's a tough question. It can't give a short answer. That's for sure. Yep.
Also a short comment. I think this is a great question, and I don't think that many of the giant companies have been doing something disruptive as Google did with this 80-20 rule of that you can spend one of your days, right, during a week. I don't know if you do, but you can do that in Google. I think this is changing, first of all, in two dimensions. One is in the big companies, there are more and more innovation type of roles. There is a big investment for these companies. However, the culture is what needs to shift ultimately, meaning how to infuse that culture into everyone so that innovation comes everywhere. The second thing that also big companies are doing, having worked in Procter & Gamble and Pfizer, I could say that majority of the innovation is basically coming from the external environment. So in P&G, we used to have Connect and Develop program. What that means is we had the global target of having more than 50% of our innovation coming from our partnering companies. Similar to Pfizer, apart from its R&D,
function where we are heavily relying on our partner companies to infuse us with their ideas, influence us, and then we do sit together and basically develop further ideas. But not easy, I agree.
Thanks, Gökhan. If you were having now connection through Bluetooth with my T-shirt, you would know my heart rate. We're so late. 2 more questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Please.
Hi guys, thanks for this morning. My question is for Robbie. I'd like to know if you have any data on how these beautiful things you showed actually impacted sales. For example, do you measure Burberry kisses by how many trench coats they might have shifted?
On this one. Yeah, great question. And the answer to that is that a lot of these campaigns have really tried to look at the amount of things that have been sold. So I alluded to Volvo trucks, and they spent a lot of money developing that specific campaign and that stunt. But off the back of that, they actually generated a huge amount of increased sales. And it's written in the press the exact number, so I don't want to do them a disservice to that. For Burberry kisses, specifically here, we were tracking the amount of kisses that were sent across the world from one position to another. It was difficult for us to track specifically the amount of trench coats that were sold. And don't forget, that was more of a brand awareness exercise than specifically an ROI campaign. But things like shoppable hangouts are hugely incredible, right? So the ability for you to actually purchase an item through a hangout or purchase an item off the back of watching a TrueView campaign, things like that can happen, and you can track that activity. And so you can start seeing that in your YouTube analytics and in your Google analytics to understand exactly how far a specific campaign has gone. But it's a valid question and something that you guys should always think about when you're building out your campaigns.
Thank you. Thank you, Robbie. Last question. It should be on wearables, right? Please. Anybody with a mic here? Thanks, Adi.
I have the mic, if I may ask the question.
Hello?
Hello, here.
Who gave you the mic? Who is giving you the mic here? I thought that I'm moderating here. Excuse me. This is the person here, so could you please go ahead?
Okay, so my name's Alex. My question to Robbie. As amazing as the storyline could be, when you watch it 5 million times, it gets annoying. So what you do, you use YouTube as Spotify. So what you do, you just listen to music. So in every 5 videos...
It's a great question. I need a question for Gökhan for wearable. That's what I said.
Oh, sorry.
Is it the question
Keep watching
for Gökhan?
YouTube. Great idea.
It's a great one.
And a Londoner as well.
Do we have a question for Gökhan on wearables? Anybody interested in wearables? None. Go ahead, please. Continue, Alex.
Okay. So my question was, because Spotify doesn't work here, and you watch your music videos on YouTube, and every 5 videos, you get the same advert. You watch it once and you go, okay, that's brilliant storytelling. I actually like that brand now. But when you watch it 5 times in a matter of half an hour, you sort of like, okay, the brand X is getting so annoying now, and I can't even skip the ad.
Great question, Alex, and thanks for framing that. So there are 1,000 of you in this room. If at the end of this conference you upload 1,000 ad campaigns, then Alex won't see the same ad over and over again in Bulgaria. The real answer to that is that our algorithms should be doing some clever stuff to make sure that Alex isn't targeted with the same ad again and again. It's a bit like having a TV campaign, and seeing the same spot 14 times. Pure wastage for those who buy TV in this room, right? You don't want to expose your clients to that many times the same campaign. And so at Google, we do a lot of work on the back end to make sure that users are only seeing that ad a certain amount of times. And I'm disappointed to hear that you've seen that same ad 5 times. I would hope that our system would behave in a certain way that would mean that wouldn't happen. And we'll strive further. But as we've just opened up YouTube to advertising in Bulgaria, right? There's a possibility that not all of you 1,000 guys are on board yet, but after today, who knows?
1,200, so we have a chance.
One thing on innovation, I just want to say one thing on innovation. It's not just about the big companies, right? The guys who are in their bedrooms are creating the most amazing, compelling content. The startups of this world, the Airbnbs, the Wazers, the WhatsApps, they started in small rooms somewhere, so there's always the ability. I came in through a startup acquisition at Google as well. It's getting down and dirty, and then you can really have that innovative culture. I love it.
Guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a couple of announcements. Please don't go. First, don't forget to go climbing. The best climber here, the bravest, the strongest, gets a gold ticket to the Global Webit Congress. Second, We have, I told you you're the most important. So outside there, we have a partner. We have a number of partners, especially for the outdoor, mall advertising, and Metro Reklama. Metro Reklama is going to be giving you 3,000 leva, 1,500 euro in advertising, only for the sake of leaving your card there. I mean, only one will get it, so don't expect everybody. But one from those that put their cards with them is going to get 1,500 leva euro with advertising. And not last, don't forget, we're here, and the 2 rooms will be split. This room is going to stay on topics on digital marketing and advertising and big data and programmatic and social and digital commerce. And the other one is going to be challenging the amazing startups there. There's going to be a startup pitch on the stage with Q&As from investors and people from the industry. So thanks God I'm not in your shoes, because I wouldn't be able to choose. But enjoy and come back here after the break. We're totally late, but we'll try to catch up. Thank you. Go climbing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
the lights. Turn off the lights.